Woodz right here from Neesha Woodz. She's live.
Miracles, you're my supply.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. How you doing, my sister?
I'm wonderful. How are you doing?
I'm telling you, I've been a little worried a while ago. I was wondering if you were coming on.
Oh
I'm all,
yeah, oh yeah.
I'm all right. I'm all right. How you doing?
I am great. Thank you for asking.
Okay, welcome, welcome. Thank you
Thank you.
for honoring my our invitation.
Of course, of course.
So we're not gonna keep it long. Let me check something. We're gonna talk a little bit about your ministry. Then we move right into your big song, "Running." Right?
Yes, running over.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. Run it over. All right.
run it
Just
over. Yeah,
hold on a little bit.
yeah. Breathe life into man. God of miracle. You exist outside of time. There is nothing that you cannot do. So we call, Lord, we call upon you. You're the God of miracles. God of miracles. You're my supplier. You're the all sufficient one.
God of miracles.
You're the God of all my
Powerful song. Anisha Woods right here.
nothing is impossible with you. You're the God of miracles. Miracle worker, make a way in my Red Sea. You're the God of miracles. You're always on time. You always reassure me. You're the God of miracles. Oh, you have the final say. Who can stop when you command?
Always on time. You have the final say.
Oh, I have no need to fear. I trust in your perfect plan. You're the God of miracles. You're the God of miracles. God of miracles. You're my supplier. You're my all sufficient one. You're the God of all my
Mixing you live from the ones and twos. DJ Solomon.
is impossible with you. I would be excited too.
Nothing is possible with you, Lord. The God of miracles. Way maker.
God of miracles, you're my supplier. You're the
What a song. What a song. All right. Come on, Neesha, let me start. How you doing? How you doing? Again.
I'm great, man. You got me feeling like worshiping now.
Yeah, just I guess you get warm up. You get something hit you, right?
Yes.
So, so are you on the are you on the pandemic in Bahamas? You're not
Pardon?
affected. You're not affected by what's going on, the virus or anything
No, not personally, but here in Barbados, we're actually seeing,
in
I should say,
Barbados. Yeah.
our first real wave. The government did a good job in terms of trying to curtail it the last year or so, but now we are really seeing a wave. A lot of cases every day. So we're having more deaths, so
Oh
it's a
man,
little challenging right now. Yeah,
your family all right though?
yeah. My family is okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
family good. All right, let's introduce yourself to us and tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we move. I have a playlist for you tonight.
Okay, okay, okay.
I have a playlist for you for the next 30 minutes. I have a playlist for you lined up. So tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we can move on about the ministry a little bit.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me again.
You're welcome.
My stage name is Neesha Woodz with a
Uh huh.
Z,
Uh huh.
but my actual name is Neesha Wooding. Um, I am a full time gospel artist here in Barbados. I would have been full time as a career for the last, I think, about 8 to 9 years, where God would have spoken to me a few years ago about going into full time ministry. Just a little bit about that. I would have been working at a doctor's office. And one day I was at my desk and God spoke to me and told me, it was time. and I was asking God time for what because you know I thought
Hmm.
you meant like time for lunch, but I was like, no, it's time for you to go into full time ministry. And I was like, what? Because at that time, people were talking a lot about recession. Recession was this big thing that was now coming about.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, God, I talked to God on a real. I was like, I ain't sure about this because
Uh,
leaving a stable job, stable income,
yeah.
to go into full time ministry, and there were not a lot of people that I could look up to in Barbados that would have been doing that. The only person I think that would have done that full time would have been the late Joseph Niles.
Yeah.
So to me, it would have been very challenging to really launch out in faith, but I would have asked God numerous times for confirmation.
Hmm.
And he was so patient with me that all 7 times he gave me
Yeah.
confirmation that this is what he wanted me to do. So since then, God has been awesome. God has been gracious, and I'm just a fun-loving person. Love life, love family, love friends,
Hmm.
um, love music, love God, love the beach,
Yeah.
love anything fun, really.
You do reggae and you do soca, right?
I have always been
What
directed into those Caribbean genres:
yeah.
dancehall, reggae, soca. Yeah.
How you started out in the music? Were you doing secular music before, or you just started out in
No, no,
church?
no. I was always a church girl.
Okay.
Thankfully, because I always say if I didn't grow up in church, God knows where I would have been.
Yeah. All of us.
I still been singing, but I probably would have been
Mhm.
singing, probably secular soca. I think I would have gone more in that direction.
So,
Um,
mhm, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening.
yeah, yeah. So, my start would have come with my dad. He is someone who would have at he realized that I could sing like around 5 years old. So he
Hmm.
actually would tell me at night, come and sing this song with me. He would be at the piano. So I actually started in his chorale called Hope at my local church.
Hmm.
And then after that there was a little hiatus because I was a very shy young girl, still shy to some degree. And so I didn't sing for a long time until I was probably in my late teens.
Okay.
And then during that time I would have been influenced by the likes of like Papa San and Lieutenant Stitchy, DJ Nicholas, those guys. So I think that's why I really started to go into the Caribbean genres.
Okay. So that's how the reggae vibes comes in, the
Yeah,
reggae
yeah,
links.
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Because
definitely.
the first time I heard you was on the Vision 2020 rhythm.
Okay, okay.
That's the
Yes.
first. That's the first track I heard you on. Um,
Okay.
that's the first reggae track, and then Dero I sent me some music concerning soca and
Right.
stuff like that. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, all right, we're gonna go into the into the music, all right?
Sure.
You
Yeah,
will-
sure.
Tell me a little bit about this song, "God of Miracles." Is
God of miracles. Wow. As I mentioned before, I've been doing music now full time for the last 8 to 9 years.
hmm
So you would understand that I live a life of faith.
yeah, yeah,
And I've seen if we had the time, I could sit down and tell you how God has just moved so miraculously in my life over the years.
mhm,
And this song came from a place of believing God for something supernatural, and not only believing Him, but knowing that He's able to do exceeding abundantly above all that we can ever ask, think, or imagine.
yeah.
And it was from that place of belief that God of miracles, this song came about for sure.
"God of Miracles." I'm gonna play a little bit about more about it, right?
Sure. Okay.
To man, you're the God of miracles.
Talking to Neesha was right here.
You exist outside
"God of Miracles."
time. There is nothing that you
I
cannot
have the soca playlist line up also,
call upon you.
International gospel artist
God
out
of
of Barbados.
miracles,
Neesha was right here.
God of
"God of Miracles."
miracles, you're my supplier. You're the all sufficient one. You're the God of all my days. Nothing is impossible with you. You're the God of miracles. By your word, the stars were made. the God of all my days. Nothing is impossible with you. You're the God of miracles. Miracle worker, make a way in my Red Sea. You're the God of miracles. You're always on time. You always reassure me. You're the God of miracles. Oh, you have the final say. Who can stop when you command? God of miracles. Oh, I have no need to fear. I trust in your perfect plan. You're the God
Praise the God of miracles.
of miracles. You're the God of miracles. God of miracles.
Beautiful, 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 beautiful worship,
Thank
Neesha.
you. Thank you.
So you have the reggae side, the worship side, and the soca side, right?
Yes, definitely.
What's the music, the culture music in Barbados is what? Soca?
Yes, that's the main genre.
That's the major. How do they
Yes.
accept? How would they accept it in churches? Does they do a lot of soccas in churches?
Yeah, we do know. During the times of Joseph Nelson, he had a hard time. He had a hard time bringing soca into the church. There's also I don't know if you know of Sister Marshall, but I would have had conversations with her where she would have talked about that. People were so stiff-necked at first when it came to soca in the church and reggae in the church. They thought it was banja, as we will call it.
Yeah,
But no, but
it
no,
was.
definitely.
Go ahead, go ahead.
But no, definitely we are. Oh yes, there is definitely a lot of soca in the church.
During present
I
worship
think
time.
we, yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I think we've definitely gone over that hurdle now.
Okay, because I know
Yeah,
in Jamaica back in the days, the reggae used to be not easily accepted in churches.
yeah, yeah.
Even now they're still having some problems. Some churches don't really accept
Really?
the culture. Yeah, the culture music, which is reggae,
Okay, okay.
in the churches. Okay, we're gonna move you on to that track before because we'll have to get to my favorite, which is this is running. That's the
What's your favorite?
yeah that's my favorite track. This is the first
Okay.
song I heard you. I heard you with.
Everything is gonna be
Okay.
alright. So I say everything is gonna be alright, be alright. And it is quite okay if you cry tonight, 'cause morning's coming. Everything is gonna be alright, be alright.
We're gonna keep a little reggae side, right? Alicia was a little reggae side.
Gonna happen, the things are gonna change. Things are gonna change. You've been here to. So I say everything is gonna be alright.
Everything is gonna be alright. Pull up one more time.
And it is quite okay if you cry tonight, 'cause morning's coming. Everything is gonna be alright, be alright. 'Cause when your God steps in, things are gonna happen, the things are gonna change. Things are gonna change. You've been here before, might be the 100th time, and you walk till your feet are sore, and you're wishing you can press rewind, and outside you're trying to be strong, and no one hears you cries, and I know it's looking dark right now, but the sun will rise. Yeah. So I say everything is gonna be alright, be alright. And it is quite okay if you cry tonight. Just know the morning's coming. Everything is gonna be alright, be alright. 'Cause when your God steps in, things are gonna happen and things are gonna change.
Everything is gonna be alright.
When life backs you up in a corner, don't throw up your hand. Throw up your hand. No, it ain't picture perfect, but soon you'll see His plan. You're redeemed.
no need to worry.
And it's quite okay if you cry tonight. 'Cause morning's coming. Everything is gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright. You better know that things are gonna change.
A seed has to die so it can rise again and bear fruit in its season. And if your life is hidden in Him, nothing's allowed to happen without a reason. I know you feel the pain in your heart and you want it to end, and you want it to end, yeah. Go ahead and shed your tears, cause you will smile again. I promise you, my friend, everything is gonna be alright.
Yes, it's gonna be alright.
Yeah.
No need to worry.
It is quite okay if you cry tonight. Neesha, morning's coming.
Okay, Neesha. Tell me a little bit about this one.
Be Alright featuring Samuel Medaz. All right, so I was actually preparing to do my third album, and I just wanted to have a very encouraging reggae track on the album. So I shout out Sammy and I said, "Hey Sammy, I got a song here for you that I want you to feature on, and I want you to produce it." And I'm pretty much the song that I actually sent to him. He recreated the song. So this is what you have, Be Alright, in this form of fashion.
Which album is it on?
Be Alright
Because-
is on my last album actually,
Oh,
Incredible
so
God, that I released last year.
all many albums you have, because I get the songs, I'm like singles, so I don't really know of
Okay,
the
okay,
albums.
okay.
How many albums you have?
I have
Tell me.
Today I have three albums.
Uh-huh.
The first one would have been in 2013,
Mm-hmm.
my debut album, I Need You. 2015 would have been Fire, and 2020, Incredible God.
Okay, all three albums. I have to get it because I get the singles, so I really
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
get the full album. Everything is gonna be all right. I'm gonna play a next track. I'm gonna play a next reggae track. No Justice.
Yes.
That was on the Catalyst Crew, the
Vision.
23 Vision.
Yeah.
That okay? You wrote that one too?
Yes, I wrote that one, yes.
Okay.
Oh, na na na, boy, boy. Hey. Oh, na na na, boy, boy. Hey. Got mercy.
Stop it and play it again. DJ Solomon, a big tune.
Big tune.
Your holy mothers, fathers, them balling. No justice and no making sense. It's too much war, too much evil, too much envy. Say only God can make the difference. Yeah. See all the blood crying out from the earth. Yeah. No justice and no making sense. My love, too much war, too much evil, too much envy. Say only love can make the difference. Yeah. Open up your eyes, ain't no time to be blind. All around we see these signs of the times. Open up your eyes, ain't no time to be blind. Said all around we see these signs of the times. So, love a little, give a little, stop the hatred. Tired here that another you dead. We come together, love your brother, love yourself. Your life worth more than material. Look how the mothers and the fathers, them balling.
I'm telling you, from the 2020 Vision Rhythm.
My love,
Your words right here.
too much evil, too much envy.
No Justice.
Make God can make the difference. See how the blood crying out from the earth, yeah. No justice and no making sense, no. But too much war, too much evil, too much envy. So the only love can make the difference, yeah. Physically, spiritually, we all need that everybody. Violence plays so dangerous, we need more love for this world today. But on the guns and pick up, please stop you all within the streets and love a little, give a little, stop the hatred. Be tired here that another black bandit. We come together, love your brother, love yourself. Your life worth more than material. Look how your mama and your papa them balling. No justice and
No justice.
too much war, too much evil, too much.
What was going on to your mind, Neesha, when you put this one together?
This one was written around the time of all the riots, George Floyd's death, Breonna Taylor's death. So when I got this rhythm and I listened to the music, this is what it spoke to me. only in the United States, but even here in Barbados at that time, there was such escalating crime. And I wanted to pen a song where it was addressing not only the issues that were happening in the States, but also what was happening in Barbados.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just a case of me addressing, police brutality, but I also want to bring it home to the fact that even though, yes, we talk about police brutalizing Black people, we are also responsible for Black on Black crime.
Yeah.
We have we have we, we
That's a
have
big
we
thing
have young
too.
men here that, yeah, I mean, we have young men here that if one looks at one too hard, gunshot.
Yeah.
you know over losing your life over trivial things and trivial matters. So I wanted to really pen a song that spoke um to what was happening in the States and what also what was happening here in Barbados. And I said, you know what, if someone hearing this song, if it's just one life that it speaks to their heart, don't let your mother and your father bawl over a sense of killing. Don't let your mother cry over you dying. There's worth more than just silver and gold. Your life is worth more than that. So my desire was that this song would at least touch somebody's heart,
Yeah.
for sure.
I heard a little chanting in some of the verses. A little, you bring a little yard, a little Jamaican vibes, a little chant. You bring a little chant in. I'm like, whoa. You know that, right?
Yeah, if you're doing it reggae, you gotta do it. You gotta try and do it authentically, even if you're not Jamaican.
Yeah, yeah. A little chanting. I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah,
She got a
yeah.
little yard, the vibes right for it.
Oh, na, 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 boy, boy.
Let me touch a little bit more. Vision 2020 radio. Don't just stay. Catalyst production.
And the fathers, them balling. No justice ain't no making sense. Too much war, too much.
Neesha Woodz keeping my company this evening.
Say only God can make the difference.
Not too often, I'm always alone on Saturday night.
Crying out from yeah. No justice ain't no making sense, my love. Too much war, too much evil, too much envy. So only love can make the difference. Open up your eyes, ain't no time to be blind. All around we see these signs of the times. Open up your eyes, ain't no time to be blind. Said all around we see these signs of the times. So love a little, give a little, stop the hatred. Tired here that another you dead. We come together, love your brother, love yourself. Your life worth more than material. Look how the mothers and the fathers them balling. Justice ain't no making sense, my love. Too much war, too much evil, too much envy. So only God can make the difference. Yeah. See how the blood crying out from the earth, yeah. No justice ain't no making sense, no.
The messages of the music.
War, too much,
Not just this.
too much envy. So the only love can make the difference. Yeah. Physically, spiritually, we all need that change in everybody. Violence may so change your ways. We need more love for this world today. Put on the guns and take a peace. Stop you all within the streets and love a little, give a little, stop the hatred. Be tired here that another black man dead. Be tired. We come together, love your brother, love yourself. Your life worth more than material. Look how your mama and your papa them bad. Justice ain't no making sense, no.
Keep the vibes, give the vibes on a Saturday night on the Hallett Mix Radio Show right here.
Only Jack can make the difference.
Out of Barbados.
See how deep
Neesha Woodz right here.
from the earth, yeah. It just ain't no making sense, no. Too much war, too much evil, too much envy. So the only love can make the difference. Follow, shut up,
Well, yeah, be the one show.
Who love that?
Yeah, be the one virtual. Yeah, be the one virtual. Well, yeah, I be the one virtual. Well, if this was my interview, I be the one virtual, right?
Oh man.
Oh my God!
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
Well, let's vibe it. Let's vibe it. Anyway,
yeah.
tell me a little bit about follow.
Oh man. So follow
Finally, what is sometimes something good ready, right?
something good. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So something good rhythm. Shout out to Glenn Roy. I would have met him when I went to sing in Antigua a couple years ago.
Mhm.
And he was like, Nisha, got something here if you're interested. And I listened to the song. I was like, yeah, I could definitely hear something on this. And all I hear was, somebody go side left, right, left, somebody go side. That's all I heard. And then from then it was like, and I actually wrote this song in Houston, Texas. Well, I was over there for, as you will know, Joanne Prince B. I was there for their concert,
Uh-huh.
Afro, I think it's Afro Caribbean
Yeah, with
Praise
you, I
Jam.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was actually in Houston and I was in my room and I just started to hear the entire song from top to bottom and I was like, yes, this is the track here for sure. And this song pretty much talks about, no matter what comes your way, we following Jesus. We are following Jesus. We're not looking to the left or the right. We following King Jesus for sure.
You have different ways of how you go about writing songs, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, sometimes you just get the vibes after what's going on, or just you get a dream or what.
I would say most of my songs actually come in the bathroom.
Oh, oh.
No, I'm serious. I would literally just be showering and I would hear a melody and I would have to run up the shower and go get my phone and record the melody.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then come back and write
Most
the whole
people,
song.
most people will be going through our vibes. You get your inspiration when you get a shot.
Definitely, definitely. But for me,
Okay.
I can look at anything and I could just be inspired by it and I could just start writing a song.
Okay. At what age you wrote your first track?
I would have been 19
19.
because I used to write poetry before,
Mm-hmm.
but then I guess he just hit me one day and I penned my first song. And from then I was like, if I'm gonna be an artist, I'm gonna sing my own songs. I'm
Okay.
gonna write my own songs.
You recorded that song?
Pardon?
That first song, did you record it?
I've actually no, I haven't. That is there with all the other 200 plus songs I've ever written. But
Okay,
I've never recorded the first one.
You remember it?
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. You're putting me on the spot.
See, so you love sing. You love sing. You remember that song?
Oh man. Oh gosh. I would have to really go into the crevices of my mind to remember.
Oh,
that song.
oh,
That's
let me
the
think.
truth. I've
I'm
written so
thinking
many songs since then.
age catch up on you. I think it-
No,
all right,
no,
let-
no, no. It
let me
wasn't
go
that
to
long
fa-
ago.
Oh. This one is called Follow.
I left, right, left. So many go.
The reggae side of Neesha was. We're gonna move right into the little soca vibes. We're gonna talk about our
Cover me, I go.
running.
Time any place, Father God.
That's a big song. That's a big song out on the Wonder Woman rhythm.
Follow. See all the days of my life. Yes, all the days of my life. My life, yeah. They tried to
I should give it the worship, the
put things in my way, but
reggae vibes,
no.
the soca vibes, right?
I'm blessed and I'm highly favored. So take a seat and watch me eat at my table, yeah. Surely he will deliver me. See from the hand and the snare of the enemy. For his name, oh Lord, you get the glory. I will not fear because you're always before me. You anoint my head with oil. My cup runneth over and over. Cause you're my Jehovah Jireh, yeah. And if you seek, then you will find. My God, there's always some time, but everything begins and ends in Him. Of His goodness and mercy, forever I will sing. Could be a summer in a desert. My devotion to you, it ever will be present. Like they own me, I'll be your roof, I'll go. Just leave me, Lord, and you know I will follow. This work can be so empty. Don't know where I would be without your grace and mercy. Well, take my will and take my heart and take my mind. So the ones I'm following you, Lord, I will be fine. Now follow. Goodness will follow me all the days of my life. Yes, all the days of my life. My life, yeah, I'll follow. Mercy will follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in your house forever. So many go silent, right, left. So many go
She's marching.
left. Trod me, I trod, and I travel me, I go anytime, any place, Father God, I do follow. Me go silent, right, left.
But it's so make
It's called Follow.
right.
Neesha Woodz right here live on the mix.
Trod me, I trod that.
Touch one or two before I let her go, right? Because she's having her own virtual and everything.
You know I will follow.
We're gonna move right in. You remember the song? You remember the song, yeah?
Of course, of course.
Okay. We'll get back to you with that.
I will follow.
Okay, tell me, we're gonna move into a soca vibe. You have a song named Fire, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Fire took Fire took the Caribbean by storm.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of those songs that when I wrote it, I didn't expect it to do what it did. I think that song really opened up numerous doors to me, regionally and internationally. I don't think I really started traveling as much as I did until I wrote Fire. And Fire was a song that I wrote that song out of devotions.
What year that was?
That would have been 2015.
Okay.
2015. And I would have been in the Old Testament talking about when they were with the prophets of Baal and stuff. And it was only from doing that devotion that I started to hear somebody say fire, fire, fire.
Yeah.
Oh. And the song just literally came in like 10 minutes.
It's a carnival hit in it, you know that?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's funny you said that because actually, someone who lives in the UK that resides here in Barbados, he actually, when I met him at Gospel Fest, he told me, "You're the person that sings Fire." He told me that song is so big in the UK. He said he actually thought it was Marvia Providence that sang it.
Yeah.
I told him no.
So you said Fire would be one of the biggest hits so far for you.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
That was a door opener, yeah.
All right, let me touch a little bit.
If you know that he is a jealous God, I wish to serve no other God but him. Help me sing. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Oh.
Stop it and play it again. DJ Solomon, a big tune.
Yeah, but I would virtual love.
Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Oh. Cause Holy Ghost fire deep down in my soul. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Eh. Fire to rebuke Satan in Jesus' name. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Oh, fire. Cause Holy Ghost fire deep down in my soul. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Eh. Fire to rebuke
Holy Ghost fire. Neesha Woodz right here.
like he's
Hey.
I got fire in my bones. I got fire in my bones. Cause Jesus done within my Jesus. Yes, he done within like the day of Pentecost. We can come in one accord. We can shout and praise the Lord. Holy Spirit, have your way. Like a mighty rushing wind, fill this place. There's the fire of God hot enough to burn up the darkness. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Oh, fire.
Fire.
My soul. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Eh. Fire to rebuke Satan in Jesus' name. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Oh, fire. Cause Holy Ghost fire deep down in my soul. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Eh. Fire to rebuke Satan in Jesus' name.
Having a whole virtual backstage, man. Fire. Neesha Woodz right here.
To burn out iniquities, it can come and set me free. Call upon the fire. It consuming all our foes. As in worship,
Live on GL365 Radio.
Elijah,
Ultimate Gospel Radio Station. Traffic Radio in the UK.
fire from
Community Gospel Radio.
all our
Check Advice Radio.
consuming fire.
Island Mix Radio Show right here. Passing through tonight.
Once again,
Neesha Woodz, right? Out of Barbados.
God hot enough to burn up the darkness. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Oh, fire. God's Holy Ghost fire deep down in my soul. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. If you know that he's a jealous God, I wish to serve no other God but him. Help me sing. Somebody say
Yeah, for beauty, you know.
Fire, oh, fire. Cause Holy Ghost fire.
It's called Fire Fire. Soca Vibes right here. Okay, we're not going to go right to the soca mix. Then we get down to the song that we want to get to.
Fire to rebuke
At the big time.
in Jesus' name. Somebody say fire, fire,
Yeah.
fire, oh, fire. Cause Holy Ghost fire deep down in my soul. Somebody say fire, 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 yeah. Fire to rebuke Satan in Jesus' name. Like Ezekiel, yeah. I got fire in my bones. I got fire in my bones. I can't keep it in. Cause Jesus down within my Jesus. Yes, he down within like the day of Pentecost. We can come in one accord. We can shout and praise the Lord. Holy Spirit, have your way. Like a mighty rushing wind, fill this place. There's the fire of God hot enough to burn up the darkness. Somebody say fire, 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 oh, fire. Cause Holy Ghost fire deep down in my soul. Somebody say fire, 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 eh. Fire to Satan in Jesus' name. Somebody
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
fire, fire, oh, fire.
When you feel the fire
Fire deep
burning deep down.
my soul. Somebody say fire, 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 yeah. Fire to rebuke Satan in Jesus' name. Since we need the fire, to burn up iniquities, it can come and set me free. All up,
Having our own virtual.
it consuming all our foes. As in worshiping the Lord, ask Elijah who is God.
Okay, one more, two more before I let her go.
He reply with fire from above. For all of Israel, oh consuming fire. Burn upon our altars once again. Cause the fire of God hot enough to burn up the darkness. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Oh, fire. Cause Holy Ghost fire.
What a vibe, what a vibes, what a vibe, what a vibes, Neesha. I'm telling you. Fire. Tell me the feeling sometimes when you sing this one on a concert.
It's so explosive when I do this live, to be honest. And even though the song is like 5-6 years old, there's always a freshness, there's always an anointing, there's always a presence when I do this song. Actually, there was one time that I practiced this song for a show,
Yeah?
and when we were singing Fire Fire, the speaker actually started sparking.
You burn your physical fire burn up the place?
So I don't know if that was coincidental or what.
I think they need a better amplifier or something, man. Don't worry think you do anything out, out of the normal. Don't worry think you do anything out of the normal.
Oh, God. But yeah,
But anyway.
usually when this song is really explosive live, man. I love it. I love it. And I love what God does with it.
Yep.
When we minister this one.
Since you started out, tell me one of your biggest show. You think, the largest crowd.
Largest crowd, oh gosh. I would have to say either Gospel Fest here in Barbados, our Gospel Fest in St. Vincent, some shows I did in Antigua and St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Because when I first started, the manager I had at the time, I used to open, Tasha Cobbs had a Caribbean tour.
Uh-huh.
And that was when Break Every Chain was really big.
Yeah, at the time.
I used to open for her. I opened for her here in Barbados, and then we went to St. Vincent and St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. So those were some really, really, really big shows as well. And then there was also one in Canada that was pretty big too.
Okay. Have you ever felt nervous going on a show? Really nervous? Do you say to yourself it can't happen?
No. Not to the point that it can't happen. But I think you do get nervous before every performance. But for me personally, is my nervousness comes from anxiety in terms of
You want to get it. You want to get it right.
I want to do it. I just want to get on the stage because a lot of the time they have me lower down in the order. So all that waiting, But trust me, once I get the mic, the nerves go, and I am just ready to go.
Okay. What is your worst embarrassing moment? Something you can share, like probably you forgot your line, you was walking and and something that you can share, not not anything that you gotta go back for that
Thankfully,
one. You gotta go back for that one. Right.
thankfully, I don't really have embarrassing moments.
Yeah.
Even if
Like,
I forgot words, even
yeah.
if I forgot words, or maybe what I might have done is that I might have sang a line in the second verse that belonged to the first verse. But unless you really knew the
And that's
music,
that's
you would
not
have
bad.
picked up.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But last year there was a show though, um, where my shoe actually came apart before I went on stage.
Hold on. That's you can say that under here, right?
Yay!
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
But it was coming apart at the sole. It was something at the bottom. So I had to get the arguments quickly to get something short, and I had to try to cut off the flap. So at least when I went on, when I went on
You
stage,
know,
I couldn't move as much as I would like to,
Yeah.
so that it wouldn't.
So we know,
fall
let's take it
apart.
off.
That's about it. Yeah,
So let's take it off.
yeah. But usually when I perform, I do perform barefoot a lot. But
Okay.
that time I didn't do that. I didn't do that.
All right, we're gonna run one or two more tries. We'll let you go. Wow, I thought this year could spend 30 minutes. We passed 30 minutes long time. You know that, right?
I know. I know.
We passed 30 minutes. Anyway, we're gonna play one more.
Cause the fire of God hot enough to burn up the darkness. Clap your hands with me, help me sing. Fire, oh. They consuming all our foes. As we worship in the Lord, I see Elijah who is God.
The Soca Vibes. 99.3 Prison for more things and kids.
All of it
Steve, what's up, man?
consuming fire. Burn up all our once again. Cause the fire of God hot enough to burn up the darkness. Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Oh, God's Holy Ghost fire deep down in my soul.
Holy Ghost fire, Holy Ghost fire.
Somebody say fire, fire, fire. Eh. Fire to rebuke Satan in Jesus' name. Lord, yes, we call on the fire. Give us the fire. Total surrender. Burn deep within. Purify us. Unify us. Have your
And the Soca Vibes, the Soca Party right here.
way. Oh, yes, we call on the fire.
With Neesha Woodz right here.
The fire. Okay. Total surrender.
I have to mute her mic, you know.
Oh, Lord. Purify.
Having our own virtual concert, right?
Fire. Holy Spirit. Have your way. If you walk with the Father,
Another one. Can you feel it?
and you stick in His kingdom,
Hey.
and His righteousness. He shall rule again. Thank you, Lord, for blessing me. Open heaven all around me. Oh my gosh. If you walk with the Father, and everything is blessed, and you seek in His kingdom, and His righteousness, blessings are falling. If you put Him first, never in reverse, they ain't got no choice. So lift your hands and voice. Blessings are falling.
I would be excited too.
I can feel it.
Beats after hits with DJ Stop it Solomon. and play it again.
Neesha Woodz again.
I would be excited too.
Thank you, Lord, for blessing me
Neesha Woodz right here live.
all around me.
Now for this one, I'm gonna play the one running, right?
Gosh. If you
Then send her home, right?
and everything is blessed, and you seek in His kingdom and His righteousness, blessings are falling. If you put Him first, never in reverse, they ain't got no choice. So lift your hands and voice. Blessings are falling. Everybody, I can feel it. I can feel it coming down. I can feel it. I can feel it coming down.
feel it. I can feel it. All the blessings, right?
Feel it,
Coming down, coming down, coming down.
I can feel it. I can feel it coming down. I can feel it. Blessings are falling. Eh, 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 eh. Dwelling our praises as we worship you. You are our Father. With you we'll never lose. Blessings are falling. Eh, 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 eh. Everyone in its place, no matter your race, color, class, or creed, just lift your voice with me. Blessings are
We'll be
falling.
excited too.
Feel it, feel it coming down. Feel it, feel it coming down. Feel it, yeah. Blessings are falling.
I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it, Neesha. I can feel it.
That's when you, that's when you have some.
Okay, okay. You missed.
That,
Y'all
that, is,
will-
that is one I love performing though.
Yeah,
That
that's
one,
feel it.
Oh man,
Oh my.
I love performing. That.
Y'all will be working on it already. Okay, we have one more. We have one more. Want to tell me? Tell me a little bit about running.
Running over.
Quote
oh
the
gosh.
the first verse. When you feel like something. Tell me about the first verse again.
The first verse. So let me just tap back a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I am actually a Wonder Woman fan.
Mm-hmm.
So when they asked me about being on this rhythm, I was like, I didn't even know if it was reggae, if it was soca, but I just said yes off the bat because I was like, Wonder Woman, this is a match made in heaven. But the first verse of this song goes, "Why you're fretting
Yeah.
and stressing yourself?
Uh-huh.
Don't you know that He is your help? He will take care of you, and no one else, like no one else. Like the flowers of the field, plentiful in spring. He will turn up just in time. By faith, I know He will take care of you. All your needs He will supply. So I will dry my weeping eyes."
Boy, I'm telling you. Let me play running. Let me play running.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know God will see us through. Hey, when I feel like I can't go on, and the pain is just too strong, your grace running low.
Stop it and play it again. DJ Solomon, a big tune.
When you feel like you can't go on.
I know God will see us through. Hey, when I feel like I can't go on, and the pain is just too strong, your grace running over, your love running over. I will look up to the hills, 'cause I know you with me still, your love running over, your grace running over. Hey,
From the Wonder Woman rhythm.
I can't go on, and the pain is just
Neesha Woodz,
grace running over.
a member of the Gang of Five, right?
The hills, 'cause I know you with me still, your
That's a new one. That's a new one.
why you fretting and stressing yourself? Yeah, don't you know that He is your help? He will take care of you. And no one else, my Lord, like the flowers of the field, plentiful in spring. He will turn up just in time. But if I know He will take care of you, all your needs He will supply. So I will try my weeping eyes.
There is no need for you to. When you feel like you can't go on. Grace running over. What a testimony, right? That's the message. Number 5 or number 9
He's the same today, tomorrow.
on GLN Gospel.
Take all your sorrow, let Him be all you need.
Soca Calypso Top 20 chart.
He's all I need.
This is at number 9.
Yeah, yeah. Like the flowers of the field, plentiful in spring. He will turn up just in time. By faith, I know He will take care of you. All your needs He will supply. I will lift my hands to the sky. Hey, when I feel like I can't go on, and the pain is just too strong, your grace running over.
When you feel like you can't go on, the pain is getting so strong. His grace is running over. That's the message, you know.
That's
Yeah,
it. His
that's
grace
it.
is sufficient.
Yeah, it's over. You can just collect the offering and just say the benediction. It's over. It's done. It's done.
That's
It's
right.
it's before you get it here. Tell us how we can get your music before we let you go.
Anywhere that you stream, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, you can find not only Running Over, but all of the wonderful Wonder Women who
Hmm.
are on this rhythm. And of course, you can get my album as well on any streaming platform. Neesha Woodz, NeeshaWoodz. And of course, you can catch me on Instagram at I am underscore Neesha Woods. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Neesha Woods. Wherever there's social media, Facebook,
Hmm.
Twitter, I'm there. So you
Yeah,
guys can just log on and connect.
everything. Before you go, what can you just give a short word of encouragement to someone probably listening and probably down and depressed at this time?
This song, Running Over, is for you.
Hmm.
Because even when I wrote this song, I found myself even in a dark place, in a deep place. And remember, you asked me how my family was, but during this time when I wrote Running Over, my cousin in Florida had passed away from COVID and he was only 32 years old.
Oh,
And I found that along with some other circumstances at the time, I felt like I was in a valley experience. But what encouraged me and what I want to encourage you with is that God's grace is definitely sufficient for us.
hmm,
That even in our weakness, His strength is made perfect. So I want to encourage you to rely on God's strength tonight. No matter how long it takes, God, He said He will never leave us nor forsake us. He is always there with us. And weeping may endure for a night, but joy will come in the morning. So I just want to encourage you to hold on because your joy is coming. Amen.
okay, amen. So Nisha, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
I
DJ
was a little,
Solomon.
I was a little bit worried because you was answering the phone any at all
No, no, no,
for
no,
the
no.
for the past week. So I
No,
was
it's just
saying,
that
hey, this is not gonna
you
possible.
had some horrible timing.
I realized that. I said, hey, this is not gonna work out tonight.
No, 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 no. I am a
Yeah,
woman of my words.
yeah. I want to big up D-Rai for the link up and stuff.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. So thank you for coming on, and anytime. I really enjoyed it. Your messed up interview. I was thinking of something quiet, a little soft, but you messed up everything.
No, no,
So
no.
we just
Good, good, good,
everything just turned out. Everything just turned out.
good.
you turn it to that. You turn it to that virtual. By the way, God bless you and be
God bless
safe
you
and
too.
all the best for the
Thank you
rest of the
so
year.
much. Same
All
to you.
right.
Blessings to you. Thank you.
All right. Blessings.